kitties, how's it going? Melodica here with a continuation of the Let's Play that I'm doing right now. It is called Without a Voice. This is day number 6 if I'm not mistaken. I'm just starting right where I left off, and here we are. When the sunshine blazes down, I soon begin to wish for rain. But when you've gone away, my dear, I soon long for the sun again. Day 6. Here we go. A wonderful day, waking up next to my hubby. Cassidy awoke alone, with a cold space beside her. Wait, what? Again, she's gone in the morning. What could she be doing so early? It's highly suspect. Don't you mean suspicious? She could no longer ignore the gnawing feeling of dread. Perhaps she would ask Elowen upon their next meeting. Still, what a wonderful night that was. They had, you know, stuffy. It's not mentioned because maybe it's a kid's game. I don't fucking know. Each precious memory had been carved into Cassidy's heart. She yawned and slowly pulled herself out of bed. With or without Elowen, she would have to get on with her day. Cassidy hummed a little tune to herself as she cleaned up and prepared breakfast. Sitting down at the table with her bread and morning tea, she glanced at her stationery set left by the vase. A lot has happened. Perhaps I should write Alexander a letter. I must save that shit. Hang on. Who gives a fuck of Alexander, right? Who gives a fuck about him? She shook her head. That can wait. I'm more worried about what Elowen is up to now. Though always lonesome before, the former princess's life now felt so much emptier without Elowen's presence. Though she could be accustomed to such solitude, she could barely concentrate on her usual chores. To think that a few days could change a person so. In a lull in her activities, Cassidy's gaze went to the window. Deep in the forest, her beloved wisteria tree stood. She could see it so clearly in her mind's eye. Elowen is like that tree. I wonder if she is there. I don't know what to choose. Elowen is like that tree. I wonder if she is there. Ooh, I wonder if she is there. Yeah, man. I wonder if she's there now. Somewhere in the forest. She passed the rest of the day peacefully, but with a sense of unease. Ooh, lavenders. I love me some lavenders. Did the day went by and like fucking, you know, didn't see her? Shit, bro. The next day came and still no Elowen. Cassidy was left with nothing but her own thoughts. Day 7, people. Day 7. And thinking of Elowen perturbed Cassidy greatly. In the last several days, the woman had embedded herself into Cassidy's life like a thorn. I never expected to become close to another person again. She thought about Elowen and the things the other woman had said, the hours spent together that were so few but felt an impossible eternity. I never did ask her about her feet. Why are her toes always curled? Despite how she looks, she must be older than me. She has a proper way of speaking and always says she's lived in the forest a long time. And with the intricacy of her clothing and her manners, something did not quite add up. Elowen did not seem like people much. Elowen did not seem to like people much. Certainly, it did not seem her presence in the wood, despite how long it had been, was known to many. Alexander most probably would not have sent me here if it was known that a beautiful woman was living alone in these very woods. Mispronunciation, but it's okay. Where did Elowen come from? Why was she alone? She still had no satisfactory answer. Thinking it all over, Elowen is strange. Elowen is unearthly. Unearthly? I don't know. I don't know. Strange, unearthly? I'm gonna pick with that one. Suddenly realized that all of the things she knew about Elowen pointed to something potentially horrible. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. She'd been so overcome by the woman's peculiar charm and beautiful looks that she had overlooked something. Cassidy shook her head. Perhaps she was jumping to conclusions too quickly. I must be a little lonely, that's all. I haven't seen her since that night. She can be blunt, perhaps, but I believe she means well. Remembering the last several days, it's truly monstrous. No, she's not. Presently, there was a knock at the door, startling Cassidy out of her deep thoughts. It was a short knock, a signal for a letter not accompanying a box. A letter so soon after the last? Perhaps my brother finally understands just how much I miss him. If I leave here, if one day Alexander allows me to leave, what else awaits me? Is a political marriage truly my only means of escape? If I can be useful to the kingdom in a way, is that better? Will my life no longer be considered a waste? Did you truly ever love me? I would trust in you and wait. I'll wait. She knew the truth perhaps, yet she was afraid to accept it. Without her love for her brother, her loyalty to her kingdom, she was nothing. Alexander, I trust that you will do what's best for me and for Varamir. I will await your decision. What the fuck, yo? This is turning dark now. She could not think of Elwyn, however, without feeling a twinge of guilt. She let out a long sigh. Her thoughts had taken her on a not-so-merry chase. If I dwell on these thoughts, there will be no end to them. She brewed herself a cup of tea to calm her nerves and began reading a new book. From time to time, her eye went somewhat nervously to the window, to the wall, to distract her, but not my balls. Oh, them bitches. And so evening fell. Oh, shit, bro. Is she gonna knock on the door or something like that? Cassidy was sitting on the divan, enjoying a warm cup of tea. How many cups of tea does this woman drink? I'd be peeing my ass off. No offense. She read the latest book her brother had sent her. It was a darker tale that she was accustomed to. The tale of a tragic young mermaid. You mean Ariel? It seemed to be a fairy tale from a faraway land. Certainly Varamir had simpler, happier stories. Or perhaps those were the only ones she had been allowed to read. There's a lot of dark stories out there, yo. Goodness, every step she takes feels like walking upon knives. Oh, that's Ariel for sure. How dreadful. How could this author be so terribly cruel? Well, it's the fucking, what are they called? The fucking Grimm brothers, so all their stories are tragic. Suddenly, the front door of the cottage swung open without a knock or warning. Cassidy dropped her book in alarm. What the flying fuck just happened? Who are you? There was something dreadful standing in the doorway. A monster. Cassidy muttered this under her breath, overcome by fear and awe. It is not safe here. Yet no matter the appearance, Cassidy would never mistake that voice. Melodious, she had found it not long ago. Beautiful, she had thought its bearer until this very moment. She would be hard-pressed to describe Elwyn as beautiful now. What did you say? There is a large army approaching from the east. They wear your colors. Alexander. Cassidy could not help but gasp. The monster nodded. I am afraid so. You must away with me. Cassidy bit her lip. Alexander would not harm her. If anything, they must be here to protect her from this monster. What the fuck is going on? Yes, of course. Quickly grasping the situation, the ex-princess calmed herself and tapped into her many years of diplomacy lessons. I will come right away. Then, would you mind waiting for me outside? I will gather my things quickly. Yes, I won't be but a moment. Of course. The monster turned and left through the still open door, its movements slow and measured as always. As soon as Elwyn was outside, Cassidy flew forward and slammed the door shut. Cassidy? Ignoring Elwyn's sad, feeble voice, Cassidy locked and bolted the door. For good measure, she dragged the divan in front of it. What the fuck? The door shook as Elwyn tried to enter but would not give way. Why? How could I possibly heed the words of a monster? Who knows what you will do to me once you have me outside? She must be a demon here to corrupt me. It is just as Alexander said to the barons. I allowed your beauty, your charm to corrupt me. I have sinned, but I will sin no longer. Why? Begone, monster. Darken my doorstep no more. What the fuck? Elwyn said nothing in reply, but then wordlessly the monster ambled towards the window. Oh no, I didn't think about blocking those. But the monster made no move to enter forcefully. It just stood there with the same blank look on its face. In some ways, Cassidy felt that was worse. Had Elwyn moved just enough to follow her words to the letter, to darken the doorstep no more? It seemed like something she might do. The thought made Cassidy's heart ache ever so slightly. And the night passed like that, with Cassidy pressed against the door in fear and Elwyn standing in place still as a tree. Watching. Eventually, after what felt like a lifetime, the sun rose. It's finally morning. If the army truly is coming, I wish they'd get here sooner. The day breaks. Cassidy looked to the window in alarm. Could it be that Elwyn hadn't slept either? Elwyn stood there still, looking even more haggard than she had the night before. The monster's gaze was unfocused. It seemed not to be looking at Cassidy, but rather through her. I have failed. I could not understand the most important thing. I could not convey my love without a voice. And so this wisteria must wither in the harsh light of seventh day past. After Cassidy's eyes, Elowen crumbled into wilted wisteria petals and dust. The monster, the woman, was no more. No, deep in the forest, a wisteria tree once adored by a maiden withered and died away as well. When bargain is struck, its terms must be set, else take on your fate, and more suffering beget. Ash to ash. And what? What? I would no. That was my ending. She just died. Oh my lord, Tokimune. I am getting to more endings of this shit because holy balls. I will leave this here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I will get to the other endings of this shit because what the fuck? I didn't like that ending. I thought they would love each other and be happily ever after. I will make another video of more endings of this. So I will leave this here. I will have a link in the description for the games. It was cool. It was awesome. I did not like that ending. I am very disappointed in myself. So thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you guys in my next video. Mwah. Love you all.